Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Spill the D. I'm Rick, one of your hosts, and I'm joined, as always, with my lovely co-host, Gina. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to talk about our resort.
Yeah, I was excited to kind of reminisce a little bit, even though it was only a few weeks ago.
To reminisce. I know, we did. We pushed this episode off a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's still pretty fresh on my mind, but I agree it is. It's like bringing back our vacation.
Yeah, there was a few things where I had to, kind of think for a second to remember what actually happened.
Not that. A dangerous pastime.
For me, especially.
All those concussions do you dirty. Tell me you played a contact sport without telling me you played a contact sport. Yeah, so guys, today we're going to be giving you our review of Old Key West Resort. Mm-hmm. Sab and I actually started doing these a while back and made our ranking system out of 70 by accident.
Makes sense if you don't think about it.
If you don't think about it, it makes perfect sense. So we have so far done Saratoga Springs and Coronado Springs.
Coronado was what started the whole thing.
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm. It was. And then that was the one where we were idiots and made it out of 70 by accident. And now they're all just out of 70. But at the end of it, we found a percentage. And we're like, okay, it's this percent. But it was like, this scored a 52 out of 70. So you think 52 is bad, but it's actually more than 50. Well, either way, it's more than 50%. But it's actually pretty good.
Not bad.
Not bad. So with that in mind, how do you think Old Key West is going to do?
Well, I wasn't there for the Coronado Springs.
No.
So my rankings are irrelevant there.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. It was tough to think about some of the stuff because of the fact that we stayed in a 3-bedroom villa. Okay. It was a little bit like a lot of some of my things were like, well, it was this good because we stayed in a 3-bedroom villa, but I also thought of it as in if we had just stayed in a regular bedroom.
But you and I have before. We stayed in a studio.
Did we?
Yeah, for a weekend.
Oh, that was Old Key West.
Yeah, so now with that in mind, when we're talking about it, you can kind of...
Okay, yeah, I'll kind of do it on the fly.
Yeah, so we have done a studio there.
Okay.
So we've done a studio and a 3-bedroom. This past trip was a 3-bedroom villa.
Yeah, okay.
So there you go.
I totally forgot that we stayed at Old Key West for that one.
Do you think that realizing that is going to change any of your scores?
I don't think so.
Or any of your ranking?
No, I don't think it'll change it drastically.
Okay. But a little bit.
A little bit, maybe.
It might make it from a 4 to a 4.5.
Yeah.
I think if you would have asked me before we went, I would have told you it was going to rank kind of in the middle.
Uh-huh.
Not super great, but not bad. It's a good resort. I honestly think it's going to rank pretty high.
It was a good resort. I had a good time.
And it might be because my expectations were kind of low, but I do feel like I came out with a different appreciation for Old Key West than what I had before.
That's fair.
I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm okay with that. So, our rankings. We have food, transportation, the room, theming, recreation, the price, and then your overall experience at the resort. Those are our 7 categories.
Yes.
Which is why it comes out to 70, because it's 1 to 10 for each of those.
It makes sense.
It does make sense. And if you're not new here, if you've been back week after week, you know that normally we would do Disney News right now. We actually don't have any.
Couldn't find anything anyway.
Nothing really super great worth mentioning.
Not So Scary sold out midway through September was about all I could find.
Which, we know that.
Yeah, which, obviously it's
last time we talked, it was sold out through beginning of September.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just going to keep selling out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's really it. Everything else was just, not noteworthy.
Yeah.
Because we usually only give you guys, a few of the big things that we think will make a difference for you. And it's just... I don't think anything did.
No, nothing really this week.
But if you are trying to get to Not So Scary, make sure you buy your tickets soon, because they are just going to keep selling out as it gets closer and closer to Halloween.
Yeah, and we're obviously going to recommend for this 407 and Beyond Vacation Company. They are a Walt Disney World vacation travel agency. They book and plan Disney vacations, Universal vacations, pretty much everything. Cost any extra to book with them. It's 100% free, and if you are interested, you can go on www.407vacations.com and request your free quote.
And as always, it's in the show notes.
Yeah, it's there.
It's there. You can click the link and then get your free quote. You'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Their vacation planners are so knowledgeable. And they're going to help you get Mickey's Not So Scary.
And high energy.
Their vacation planners are high energy?
Yeah, they're fun to talk to.
Oh, okay. I was like, where are you going with that?
Like, they're not like, yeah, sure, I'll get you this. They're like, here you go. Let me get you this. This is a great idea.
Yeah, let's vacation.
Yeah, they're not Eeyore, they're Pooh.
They're Tigger. Summer Tigger, Summer Pooh.
I don't really know Winnie the Pooh that well.
But are you saying that me going, yeah, was Eeyore-esque?
Yes.
It kind of was.
It kind of was.
That was pretty good. Okay, so Disney's Old Key West Resort. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready for it. Okay, so just to give you guys an idea of what Old Key West is, it is actually Disney's first and original Old Key West. It is the first and original Disney Vacation Club resort. So the rooms here are going to be like slightly larger than the rooms at other deluxe resorts.
Because they were still testing it out.
Well, because it was meant that like people that were coming here were coming, that was their vacation.
Gotcha.
They might not be going to their resorts because they're cashing in on their quote unquote timeshare and going on vacation, which is going to really make sense when we get to the recreation portion.
Yeah, definitely.
So the rooms are bigger. The room that we were in, to give you an idea of where we were in the 3-bedroom Grand Villa. We did get it with Disney Vacation Club points. Our brother, that sounds creepy. My brother, Ric's future brother-in-law, and his wife are Disney Vacation Club members. So we used their points as well as renting from a family friend, and we combined them and we're able to stay at the 3-bedroom villa. The 3-bedroom villas are really hard to get. There are not many of them. But this resort's huge, so getting a room is not impossible.
Yeah.
It's when you want those specialty rooms, it does become a little bit harder. I think, and don't quote me on this, I think only 13 buildings have the 3-bedroom, but I think each building that has it has 2 of them.
I don't know the stats.
But there's a lot of buildings, so like that's not...
There's a bus loop for the whole resort, if that tells you how many buildings
there
are.
used to be. They got rid of it. But yes, the
buses have multiple stops, I should say.
They used to have an internal bus loop where the bus would literally just go around the resort, just nonstop, and then they realized that people were just hopping on whatever park one they needed to go to get to their next stop, so they stopped with that. But this resort's huge. Absolutely ginormous. So, the theming of Old Key West. Again, just to give you a little breakdown of where we stayed. So Disney defines it as experience the romance of the Florida Keys at this tranquil community of Conch Flats, a sprawling island hamlet with shimmering waterways, swaying palm trees, and manicured golf course fairways. Delight in sun-soaked pools, casual dining, and such amenities as fully equipped kitchens and kitchenettes. That's their little blurb about the resort on the website.
That's a pretty solid description.
It's pretty accurate. Yeah. It's basically like Key West, Florida. That's where you're at when you are staying at Old Key West.
And I actually had this as one of my points kind of when we get to it, but it feels like a beach vacation.
It does.
Which is, I'm not going to say whether that was positive or negative for me, but it feels like a beach vacation. While you're there, it doesn't necessarily feel like a Disney vacation.
Well, we don't have to go in order. Do you want to start with theming? I'm assuming that's where that falls for you.
Yeah.
Do you want to start with theming?
We can do that.
Yeah, let's start with the theming. So like I said, the theming is Key West, Florida. My note is that it gave a huge beach vibe, which is clearly what you're saying too. And then I felt like in some aspects, the beach vibe was kind of subtle, and other aspects, it was in your face.
Yes.
Which is actually, funny enough, how I felt about the Disney-esque of it. The Disney-ness. Like, in some aspects, it was, you didn't really feel Disney.
Yeah.
And in other aspects, it was like, this is in your face Disney, which is how I like my Disney vacations.
Honestly, a lot of it, to me, didn't really feel like Disney was there.
No? I felt like there was enough little touches. So, like, the sandcastle pool.
Yeah.
The slide came out of a giant Mickey head.
Yeah, there's little things for sure.
Which, if you haven't seen it, I just realized you could be picturing like Mickey's mouth open. It's just the 3 circles.
That would be a fun slide idea.
That would be like coming out like on his tongue, right into the pool. That'd be pretty cool. So what did you think of the theming?
For what they brand it as, they nailed it.
Okay.
For what I'm looking for when I go to a Disney resort, it's not there. It's not it.
Okay. Here's the thing with this ranking system. I feel like that would fall into overall experience. This is just based off what they said the theme is. How well was the theme executed?
Okay.
That's how I take. All of these categories are not overall experience. They are based off of what they say the theme should be. Based off of the food. Like, how is the food? You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Not your personal experience with it, but just the overall.
Okay, we're going to be changing a lot of these on the fly then, because I misunderstood.
Okay, that's fine. like, you might not like the recreation that's there, but if there's 50 recreation options, the recreation should probably have a high score.
Understandable.
So with the theming,
I get that.
So you might not like the beach theme, but that's the theme. How well did they execute it?
9 out of 10.
Well, that's a really high score.
The only thing that, like, the pool itself was very, like, beach themey.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the resort felt like a beach town.
Yeah.
Almost like when you go on a beach vacation and you're 2 blocks away from the beach. So, like, you know you're there, but you're not really, like, there.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, you can sense the beach, but you can't see it.
Yeah, and it was very much a Florida resort.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in the sense that there's a bridge that you walk over and you see an island green on the golf course.
Mm-hmm.
Like, things that you would just expect from a very nice resort that you're staying at.
Okay. I agree. I was going to give it like an 8.
Okay.
Because, I don't know, maybe I'm just being picky. Because now that I'm thinking about it, like, yeah, you're right. They kind of nailed it.
Yeah.
As far as, like, being at the beach. Like, I'm, like, thinking in my head, why would I take away points?
Yeah. That was the issue that I was having.
You know what would take away points for me?
What?
There wasn't a beach. Was there?
That's the only thing, was like the pool, there was like sand.
It was like beach
There was a little bit of sand and stuff like that, and it was beach themed, which is why I took points away, because as much as it felt like a beach town, there, like you said, there wasn't a beach, and that was pretty much it for me.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Like, thinking about it now, there's no spot, like how at the Polynesian, you can go and sit in the sand. Like, there's not a beach area, right? If there is,
at least not that I saw.
Yeah, we went around that resort pretty hefty. Like, we checked out almost everything we could. If we're wrong, please tell us. But I do not remember seeing a beach.
Yeah, a beach that you could sit on.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it a 9.
Okay.
Because when I was laying in those hammocks, I was on the beach. Because there was hammocks in the sand. Like, they had beach-esque areas, but they didn't have a beach. That's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, I'm also giving it a 9.
Okay. Collective 9.
Collective 9. I did originally give it an 8, but I would say for the theming, it gets the point across. Walking through the resort, they have the palm trees. They have, like you said, you feel like you're in a beach town. Mm-hmm. And then in the room itself, as far as the theming goes, I actually said, before we even got there, that the photos reminded me of staying at a condo down the shore.
Yeah. Very much so.
And then being in there, I was like, this is a nicer version of the condos down the shore that we grew up going to. By we, I mean me. Your parents didn't take you down the shore. But like, this is what it's like to go to the beach. Which, I'm talking about the beaches in Jersey. I'm not talking about the beaches in Florida. But, like, I'm sure can't be that different, right? Except for the clarity of the water.
Yeah, and this is going to sound kind of weird. And people are probably going to be like, that's not what a beach house is. But to me, a beach house has a shower with a glass door.
That's so weird.
It is weird.
That's a weird statement.
But, like,
that's a weird
I don't
statement.
know. It's just weird. It's like, I don't, like, how many showers or bathrooms do you go in where they just have a completely clear glass door?
That's such a weird statement.
At the beach is pretty much the only time I get to experience that. So, didn't
you grow up with shower with doors? Yeah, Your parents' shower used to have
Our
doors
old,
on
our
it.
old one did, but it wasn't a clear glass door. It was like the weird, like foggy kind of glass.
Oh, okay. So like maybe not like a beach town, but like a lake house.
I've never been to a lake house, unfortunately.
It's the knockoff version of a beach town.
I would love to go to a lake house.
That's such a weird statement. There's a
People
glass.
who get it, get it. People
Rick's
who don't,
giving it a 9 out of 10 because the bathroom... 9 out of 10 on theming because the bathrooms have glass doors.
Yes.
They didn't even... Not every shower had a glass door.
Yeah, but the one did.
The one I used did. Okay.
If people who get it, get it. People who don't, don't.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
IYK. Okay.
A lot of letters.
Let's move on to the next category then. Theming, we're both giving it a 9. I can't believe I just gave it a 9. I didn't think I was going to give it a 9.
Yeah, I had a 7 on here from before, but that was from my original idea that I misunderstood.
I'm still questioning myself on if I like that I gave it a 9 or not. Part of me wants to give it an 8.
Well,
but
we're here now.
I know. All right, cool. It's a 9. What do you want to go to next? The room, or just now go up to the beginning and work our way down?
It doesn't matter. Whatever you want.
All right, we'll go to the top of the list. The next subject that we have, the next category is food.
I gave it a 9.
You gave it a 9? All right. So to start out, Olivia's Cafe, one of our dining options. We also have Goods Food to Go, the Turtle Shack Poolside Snacks, and Gurgling Suitcase Bar. It's libations and...
Mm-hmm. We didn't end up in there.
Yeah, we did. Gurgling Suitcase? That was the bar next to the pool.
Okay, I didn't end up in there.
Okay.
I think I was golfing when you went there.
Gotcha. Okay. I checked them all out. Don't you worry. Gurgling Suitcase, Libations and Spirits. That's the full name of it.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. I just didn't end up in there.
All right. Talk to me about the food. You're a big food guy. What do you got to say?
Olivia's breakfast was okay.
Okay.
It was good. It was serviceable. Serviceable.
Okay. Don't know what that word means, but we'll take it.
Their dinner from the last time we were there was much better.
It was okay.
That was definitely the highlight of Olivia's. And their quick service was good. The nachos and the sandwiches from the poolside quick service that they have.
That was the Goods Food to Go where we got that.
Very good food.
Okay. I'm giving it a 7.
Okay.
I agree with your logic on Olivia's. So Olivia's, people will say, is like the best brunch on property.
Uh-huh.
I disagree. It was an okay brunch.
Exactly. It wasn't
okay.
underwhelming, but it wasn't overwhelming.
Yeah, no, it was okay.
It was whelming.
But I agree. Yeah, I was whelmed.
I was whelmed.
As
we would say.
I agree. Our dinner the last time we went, I thought was better than the brunch that we got. Also, Olivia's Cafe, you can order mobile order and you can get it to go. Mm-hmm. And our family a few nights actually ordered it to go. And I even thought that the food that they got for dinner to go was better than the brunch that we got. And our brunch, like, we got a little bit of everything. Like, there was breakfast food, there was lunch food, there was everything. Mimosas. It was good. Nothing to write home about.
There was one thing that I very much enjoyed that I'm not going to bring up because...
Bring it up.
Are we not doing the food episode? I want to do the food episode.
Okay.
I can bring it up and just not tell people where it is on there.
Yeah, do that.
Okay. The only thing that I would write home about is at Olivia's brunch, they ran out of banana bread pudding. And in replacement of that, they had banana bread French toast. And it was delicious. That was the only thing that stood out to me at breakfast.
So the episode that Ric's talking about, it has been requested by one of our listeners for Ric to do a full episode where he ranks all of the food that he ate on this one trip.
I have my list already.
He has his list ready. He made it while we were there.
I'm ready to
go. So that episode is coming,
which is why he was permission.
Yeah, which is why he was stalling on saying that. So stay tuned for that to hear all of the great food that he ate. More reasoning for my 7. Almost gave it a 6. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Goods Food to Go was delicious. you couldn't mobile order at it.
That's fair.
And I like a good mobile order.
Yeah.
You could only mobile order Olivia's.
It was quick, though.
They were very quick.
Even if there was a line, it was still very quick.
Yes, they were very quick. Gurgling suitcase, tiny, tiny bar, but a good bar. Very good, just really small. And they serve some of the food that they have at Goods Food To Go and some of the food they have at Olivia's.
Yeah.
So that was very nice. Their Turtle Shack, that was just like kind of the same idea as Goods, and that was actually closer to our room. But the reason that I didn't want to give it a higher score than a 7, and why I'm actually contemplating a 6, because a lot of the rooms here are the Disney Vacation Club villas. They all have a kitchenette or a full kitchen. Yeah. So there's not a crazy amount of quick service food options. Even going to Goods Food To Go for the breakfast, like they only had like 3 options.
The basic stuff.
It was like a sandwich, Mickey waffles, or eggs. Like it wasn't anything crazy because people have full kitchens and they're making breakfast. That's the easiest meal to make. You make it before you go to the park and then you go. So there really wasn't that many options with that. All of the food that we ate, I thought was delicious, but I didn't think that there was enough options of the food.
See, I was going based off of taste.
Which I don't think there was anything I was really disappointed in. Yeah. Even the one thing that we loved, this was like a weird thing to end up loving, the tuna sandwich at Goods Food To Go.
You loved that.
I did, and so did Sarah and Bridget, because it was a giant thing of tuna, and they were in these like little prepackaged things, and you made your own tuna sandwich so it didn't get soggy, which is why their food was so quick, because so much of it was already made and they just handed it to you. Yeah. So like that was prepackaged and in the refrigerator, and then they just handed it to you. Mm-hmm. And they had some really good ices there by the pool, too. All in all, everything we ate was delicious. There's just not a lot of food options. Luckily, we did have a full kitchen, but if you didn't, like if you only had a studio and you had a kitchenette, which kitchenettes usually have a toaster and a microwave, so you can work with it.
The basics. But
if you wanted to go get food, your options were kind of limited. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay.
And again, most of them do have a kitchen. So it's not a problem for most people staying there, but it's still a problem for some people.
Understandable. I'll adjust to an 8.
Don't change your score because of me.
I didn't take that into consideration, though.
That's okay. You can change it. I mean, sure, but whatever. Do what you want. But but like, don't let my opinion sway you.
Like I said, I don't know if I completely understood exactly how I was supposed to do all of this. Mm-hmm. So, taking that into consideration as well. Okay. I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay. I'm going to stick with my 7.
That's fine.
Part of me wants to give it a 6, but I'll keep it high. I'll go 7. All right, transportation.
I was pretty high on the transportation here.
So, Old Key West offers 2 different forms of transportation. They have buses that go to all of their resorts and Disney Springs, and then they have a boat that goes to Disney Springs. Yes. And they did have an internal bus loop. So I believe there was about 6 bus stops. So, with that in mind, how did you rank the buses and the boat? The transportation.
I would give it a 7. I liked the internal bus loop. It was nice to not have to walk, especially because of where our room was. We had to walk like 20 feet to get to the bus stop. I loved the option of the boat to go to Disney Springs. I'm always a fan of taking the boat to Disney Springs. And one thing that's not like actually necessarily part of the transportation, but we ended up using a lot just because we asked. For those that don't know, Old Key West is on one of the golf courses, and we golfed there. It's on Lake Buena Vista Golf Course, and we golfed there a few times. And when we had the option and when they weren't busy, we asked them if there was a chance they could give us a ride. And one of the people would give us a ride on one of the big golf carts.
Yeah, so
from the front of the resort to the front of the golf course, which was, like I said, not necessarily part of the regular transportation, but since we asked and they were not busy, they were able to do that for us.
I'm misunderstanding. They took you to the golf course? Mm-hmm. What do you mean? I thought the golf course entrance started at Saratoga Springs.
Yeah. So there was a few times, I think there was twice where we got to the front and there was one of those like 6-person golf carts that they take around.
Yeah.
So the one time was at the front, the one time was at our room, and we were like, "Hey, is there any chance you can just take us right to the golf course?" And they were like, "Yeah, I got nothing else to do," and they just took us right there.
That's not what I thought you were talking about. Those golf carts also will just take you around the resort.
Yeah.
So there was a few times where they took like my mom from the main building to our building.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
That's
those.
Where I thought you were going with that. I didn't realize they took you to the golf course.
Yeah, no,
so I was like,
they did that for us like twice. Once from the front, once from the room, which was awesome.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
So they also have that.
Them. If they're not doing anything and they're going by, they will give you a ride if you just ask. Which that's at like every resort. Yeah. Because they use those at just about every resort.
But it was nice with the golf course being right there for them to just drop us right off there.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I looked it up. Old Key West Resort is 100 acres.
That's a lot.
It's huge. It's 49 buildings. There we go. We now have the official number. 49 buildings. This is a ginormous resort. So you gave it, what's the final? 7? Okay.
Would have been a 6 if we didn't have the experience with the golf carts.
Okay. I'm also giving it a 7. Okay. Because we never waited more than like 10 minutes for a bus.
That's true.
Even that was for like Disney Springs. Like the resort buses were, like, I'm sorry, the park buses, they were coming. Yeah. Like that wasn't bad at all. Even with there being multiple stops and us rope dropping, we never had an issue getting on a bus. Like the buses never filled up. Yeah. And again, I think part of that is when you stay at those resorts that are the Disney Vacation Club resorts, I do think people tend to go into the park later in the day. Yeah. Because these are the people that are here all the time. They're not trying to get every last second out of their day. Like if you stay at like the All-Stars. Yeah. So us rope dropping, definitely, like we didn't have any kind of issue. The boat is actually what took some points away for me.
You didn't like the boat?
I liked the boat, but because this resort is so huge, our room was actually about a half a mile from the main building, which doesn't sound like that long, but that was like a 10 to 12 minute walk. Yeah. So to get to the boat, you had to walk that long and then wait for the boat, and the boat's filled up really quick, and then you took the boat ride, which was a very relaxing boat ride, but it's not the quickest boat ride. Yeah. And then they drop you off all the way at the end of Disney Springs. So it just was like inconvenient from where our room was. I felt like they needed like a second boat stop. Yeah. On the other side of the resort.
That's fair.
Cause it just was a lot. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. It was just a lot. It was a lot of walking just to get on this boat. So we actually took the bus a few times. Yeah. We were also the second or third stop on the way back. Yeah. If you took the bus instead of the boat. So we took the bus home from Disney Springs. I think we only took the boat home one time. Yeah. Because like Rick said, our room was really close to a bus stop. Which honestly, there's so many bus stops. Most rooms are pretty close to a bus stop. Yeah. We would just happen to be on the end where we were the building immediately behind it. Yeah. But yeah, so I took off points because of that. Because in order to access the boat, you had to walk really far, and there were rooms significantly farther than where we were. So people were walking even farther than we were to try and get on this boat that filled up really, really quick.
That's fair.
So that's my logic on it. I preferred the buses, honestly. And I know that some people don't like the Disney buses because they would rather have the monorail, have the boat options, things like that to get to the parks. I grew up at the All-Stars. I don't mind those buses. I like how close they drop you to the parks. Like, big bus gal. I don't care. They're fine. They're great.
The only form of transportation I prefer over the bus is the Skyliner.
I do like the Skyliner. I don't think I have an issue with any of Disney's transportation. My biggest issue, and the one that I tend to avoid the most, is the boats.
They're a little slow.
They're slow. There's so many people trying to get on them. They fill up so quick. And like people have timed it and they move just as fast as the other options. But I think it's a lot more time standing still maybe. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just prefer anything else. Fair. But yeah, so I'm giving it a 7 as well. Okay. Which I feel like is kind of generous considering I just complained about the boats for 5 minutes.
Double sevens.
Double sevens. All right. On to the room.
Our room specifically?
I do think we need to consider the studio that we stayed in before.
I'll go in between then.
Okay, but let's tell the listeners about our room first.
What about it?
So we stayed in the 3-bedroom Grand Villa. This massive room.
Mm-hmm.
Had 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, a living room, a kitchen, and a laundry room.
Yes.
And a balcony.
Yes.
There was more space than anyone could ever need. It fit 12 adults, and honestly, that's a low ball. This room was huge and could have fit way more people. What'd you think of it?
I thought it was really nice. It was nice because of the amount of people that we had, as far as keeping the price a little bit down. I liked that it was right on the golf course. It was nice for when we were golfing and for just enjoying watching people golf.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like I don't want to say unnecessary, but like it was big, and I just felt like we didn't need that much room.
I liked having that much room with that many people, with that many kids with us too. I liked it. Like, it just made sense to me.
Yeah.
I was laughing because we were looking around at one point and we were like, if this was at the beach, our aunts and uncles growing up and our parents would have thrown as many kids as they could into there. Like, there was
a big room, yeah.
Yeah, well, there was like an area, I guess I'll call it like a loft area between 2 of the bedrooms. So it was 2 stories, and you would go upstairs and there's 2 bedrooms and a loft area.
Yeah.
And the loft area was basically the hallway between the 2 bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, do you realize, like, if we were here growing up, like, how they would have lined us up on this floor to sleep? Like, if this was Wildwood right now, if we were down the shore, like, we would have been lined up and they would have been like, just sleep, you're fine.
Yeah.
You just need a place to rest your head. Just close your eyes. So that was definitely funny to see how our parents have evolved over the years. But this room was huge. How'd you like having the kitchen?
It was nice. I got to make some food before we went into the park, so that was nice. It was nice having a full-size fridge for all the stuff that we needed snack-wise and whatnot.
Drinks, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so it was definitely nice to have it. I don't know that I necessarily need it, but I definitely felt like I saved a little bit of money in the park by having it.
I'd say breakfast alone, you save money.
Yeah.
You ate breakfast every day at the room.
Yeah. I at least had a breakfast sandwich and then had less at the park.
Which Ric's a big breakfast guy, for anyone who doesn't know, so that makes sense. I like the laundry.
That was very nice.
Which anything 1 bedroom or above at the Disney Vacation Club Village will have laundry, so.
It was nice to not have to pack as much.
I still feel like I packed a lot, but it was nice to bring home clean clothes.
Yeah, it was nice to do that, but also being there a few days before for the golf trip, it was nice to not have to pack for all of that, because I could do the laundry and have a little bit of repeat.
You know what's insane?
What?
I'm sitting here trying to look up how many square feet this villa is, and I think it's bigger than our house.
Probably.
I can only find the 2-bedroom that say it's 1,300 square feet.
Okay.
Which I think our house is only 1,000.
Technically, it's
but it doesn't include the
that.
basement.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. I don't know how accurate this is anyway. Either way. The room is huge. Okay, and then let's talk about the studio when we stayed there. Also huge.
Huge. It was nice. That one definitely was just plain.
Yes. And honestly, the issue with that studio, all of the studios there, the way that they're built, they're the corner room. Because the way that the buildings are.
Yeah.
So, like, they are bigger, but they're a weird shape.
Yeah.
So there's definitely more space. You could definitely feel it, especially in like the kitchenette and the bathroom area. But because they're all this like weird triangle shape, it doesn't feel that much bigger. I don't know.
No.
Our 3-bedroom, that felt bigger.
That felt bigger, yeah.
Because we've stayed at a 1-bedroom before. We've never stayed at a 2-bedroom.
Yeah. And
we've stayed at the Treehouse Villas at Saratoga Springs, and this felt bigger than the Treehouse Villas, which is also a 3-bedroom.
Gotcha.
So it was huge. It was ginormous. Okay, give me your ranking on the rooms at Old Key West.
8.
Okay, why an 8?
Because I had down a 7 if it was basic room and a 9 for our experience.
Okay.
So an 8.
Okay, I'm gonna go with a 9. As far as hotel rooms go, these rooms are huge. They are funky shaped when I think about the studio shape. That was weird. Mm-hmm. But they're clean. They're nicely put together. They have glass doors to make you feel like you're in a beach town on the showers. So I would say I'm giving it a 9. The
That's
rooms
fair.
are huge because even the rooms within the 3-bedroom villa were huge. The smallest room was still a big room.
Gotcha.
Our room was ginormous.
Yeah, I mean I think ours was the second biggest room.
Yes.
I think Sarah's room was the smallest.
Yes. So,
but even still, that was 2 full-size beds and a full bath.
Yeah. So our room was 2 queens and a full bath.
Room for another queen.
Totally room for another queen. And then we had a pack and play in there.
Yeah.
And then so my sister and my parents, their room was 2 doubles.
Doubles.
Which is that's a full. It's the same thing, right? Yeah. It's just listed as double online. 2 doubles and a full bath. They had a really big closet.
Did they? I didn't see it.
Yeah, they had a really big closet. And then Tommy and Ange were in the master bedroom with the king-size bed, which, again, could have fit a queen in there, too. They could put 2 kings in there.
I was going to say probably another king.
And they had that ginormous bathroom with the spa tub with the jets and everything, and then, like, a walk-in shower. And then, what is it called? A throne room? When it's just the toilet in the bathroom?
Yeah,
like, just
so.
Yeah. So... absolutely huge. So each bedroom had its own bathroom, and then there was a full bathroom in the living room, and the living room also had a pull-out couch and a pull-out chair.
Yeah.
So it was huge. It was so big. Okay, I'm gonna, like I said, I gave it a 9. So that's my final answer.
Okay.
Just because it was just so nice.
I'm gonna stick with 8.
Okay, that's fair. I'm just thinking, like, by hotel standards.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's a 9 in my brain. Okay, this is where I think these are really high rankings. This resort is like, if you would have told me we were ranking it like this a month ago, I would have been like, nah, you're wrong. Recreation.
I'm gonna go with an 8.
Okay. So, for the listeners, here are the options for recreation at Old Key West. And I'm gonna question Ric's 8. They have 4 pools, each with a hot tub. The main one has a sauna in a lighthouse.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. They have a gym. They have the community hall. They have bike rentals, Surrey bike and regular bike. They have fishing. They have tennis courts, which are also pickleball courts. They have basketball courts. They have volleyball courts. They have a running trail. They have 3 playgrounds. Then they have the children's activities and recreation activities, which include poolside games, movies and their stars, and campfires. And then they also have the hammocks to lay on, and they're on a golf course, where they will transport you to the entrance of the golf course, apparently.
I didn't see half of that stuff while we were there.
Oh, it was all there. How'd you not see it?
I didn't see most of that stuff while we were there.
You saw the pools.
I saw the pools. I saw the tennis court.
Which is also a pickleball court.
Yeah.
Which you can go to the community hall and get those things to play. You saw the basketball court.
No, I didn't. I didn't see anybody.
Wasn't it you I was with on top of the slide when you looked out and said, oh, look, there's the basketball court?
Oh, yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I thought so.
I didn't see anybody fishing.
No, you have to, like, sign up for fishing.
I didn't see anybody on a scooter.
I didn't say scooters.
A bike.
A bike.
Didn't see anybody on a bike.
The bike rentals were right next to the pool. They had all of the bikes parked there. The Surrey bikes and the regular bikes that you could rent.
I don't remember seeing those.
The running trail? They had signs for the running trail at the main building.
Don't remember seeing that.
Okay. The playgrounds? The kids played at them.
The playgrounds were okay.
You saw the poolside activities.
They were okay.
You saw where the campfire was.
Yeah, that was a small area.
And the stage where they did the movies. You saw the hammocks. You went to the gym.
Very small gym.
And we spent our entire first day at the community hall. We just named everything. You literally saw everything.
I don't remember.
You literally saw everything I just named.
I wasn't impressed with the options.
What? What else do you want?
Quality over quantity. That's the message I'm preaching right now. The gym was very small. You could fit maybe 3 people in there.
Okay, you went to the gym twice, right?
Yeah.
How many other people were in there with you when you went?
When I was in there was 2 other people in there.
Okay.
Your dad said he went in the morning and it was packed.
Okay. I don't believe anything he says, so he's a really big exaggerator. 4 people might have been packed.
I don't know about that necessarily though, because it probably felt packed whether there was 5 people in there or whether there was 20 people in there, because it was a very small area and there wasn't a lot of stuff to use.
Okay.
I've used better gyms on property. That's
okay.
What I'll say.
That's a little bit more of a fair argument.
Again, biking, didn't really see anyone even doing it.
But it was an option.
I didn't remember seeing it as an option either.
They had the giant games set up everywhere. You see the giant checkers?
Oh, where outside the quick service place?
Yeah. That's where the bike rentals were.
Okay. I don't remember seeing the bikes.
Oh my goodness. Probably because people were renting them out.
The golf was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else I was moderately whelmed by.
Oh my goodness.
There was options. I'm not saying there wasn't options of stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I wasn't a huge fan of all of them.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm giving Recreation a 10.
Wow.
Like, I really think that you could go to this resort and spend an entire week doing nothing but this resort. Especially if they got more food options.
I don't know if I agree with that, but okay.
I'm baffled. There was 4 pools. A huge water slide. They had different activities the days that we were at the pool. We went to the pool 3 days total.
Uh-huh.
Different activities every time. The gym, yes, it was small, but it was an option, which not every resort on property has a gym as an option. And honestly, not many people do use the gym while they're on vacation.
Yeah.
So I get why it would be smaller, but I see what you're saying there. Community hall was open like all day. Not every resort has that as an option. They let us hang out there until our room was ready with the kids in the air conditioning. Me and Sarah both had to do work, and we worked from community hall. Like, there was no issue. Plenty of bikes to rent, because even when some were gone, there were still options there. Which, if it wasn't so hot, I think they probably would have all been gone, but that's a whole other story.
Plenty of bikes to rent because no one knew they were there.
Or that. They had the fishing. People were playing tennis, like, all day, every day.
I don't know. Maybe I just didn't spend enough time actually.
You golfed every time that there was a resort day.
Yeah. So that's.
I spent time at the resort. I didn't go golfing, and I saw all of these amazing things. The running trail looked awesome. I was supposed to use it and chose not to. R.I.P. my dopey training. But it was a 1.4 mile running trail. I think it was 1.4, which is like pretty high for a Disney resort. A lot of them were like a mile. You have to do multiple laps.
Uh-huh.
It was 1.4. You gotta do multiple laps too, but you get what I'm saying. 3 playgrounds. The only thing that would make it better, and it's making me wonder if I should give it a 9.5. I'm giving it a 9.5. They didn't have a kids splash area.
Oh.
Which I love. The Polynesian has that. Animal Kingdom has it. And playgrounds just get so hot for kids that I feel like, especially in Florida, so I feel like a splash area would have like icing on the cake of that pool.
Yeah.
Because the kids went to the playground and burned their little butts on the slide and then couldn't play on it.
Yeah.
But they played in the sand at the playground, which was cool. So, yeah, the recreation here I thought was amazing. Like, if you were looking for a staycation kind of trip where you just go to Disney and you're at the resort the whole time, this is a great one for it.
I thought Saratoga was better, but it's not bad.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. I think this is so much more than Saratoga. They are comparable with the amount of stuff they have. So Saratoga does also have a lot. I think being in the middle of nowhere, they need more stuff.
But again, I didn't spend as much time at the resort, so maybe take what I'm saying with a grain of salt and go more off of what you said.
Take what I'm saying and run with it.
Because you were there more than me.
The only thing also that would have made it better, but I'm not going to take off points for this one because this just has to do with the location of the resort. Like, if you were doing a staycation, the nice thing about other resorts is that you can like see the fireworks and stuff from there.
Yeah.
And because this is so far from everything, you can't. You just get what you get.
Yeah.
And you're good to go. There. Yeah, like you're not in the backyard of the Magic Kingdom or anything like that. So
yeah, that
part, yeah. But everything else, oh my god, the recreation here is so good. You're crazy. You're insane. Okay. All right. And our last category, I'm sorry, 2 more categories, but second to last. The price. So we rented Disney Vacation Club points, like we said.
Yeah.
So we're not going to go off what we paid for it. I looked up a random week in June.
Okay.
For 2024. So June 8th to the 14th.
I don't think I looked out far enough because it would not show me dates.
That's why I went pretty far. I was like, let me, because it probably said it was like sold out, right?
It said there was no options, yeah.
Yeah, so I picked a random week in June. The only thing that I couldn't find a price for was those 3 bedrooms. But again, the DVC people, they snatch those up quick. There's not as many of them. But once you hear the other prices, you'll get an idea. So June 8th to the 14th, it's a Saturday to a Friday. A studio for the average price for that week is $481 a night. A 1-bedroom, which is going to sleep 5 people. Studio is only going to sleep 4. $644 a night.
Okay.
And the 2-bedroom, which is going to sleep 9 people. $1,059 a night.
So math works out to about $100 with some change per person for each room is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, per night.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Seems a little steep for me.
Okay, so it seems steep, but now I'm going to give you some points that might change your mind.
Okay.
This is a deluxe resort.
Yeah.
When I looked up the other resorts for this same night, this same week, this was the second cheapest. Any guess what the first cheapest was?
Was it Saratoga Springs?
It was. It was about $5 more per night on average than Saratoga Springs was. Saratoga Springs was $476.
Okay.
$477. So it's $4 or $5 a night more. I thought Animal Kingdom was going to be the cheapest. Animal Kingdom actually was around like $5 something a night.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. It definitely like these deluxe resorts are not cheap.
Yeah.
And the price that I'm giving, this is rack rate, no discounts. You can get some really good discounts for the deluxe resorts, especially like Disney Plus members sometimes can get like 35% on the deluxe resorts, which 35% of 481, that's going to be a good chunk taken off of there. It's going to bring you into the 300s.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider. But as far as deluxe resorts go, this is one of the cheaper options. Mm-hmm. With that in mind, what do you think of the price point?
I'll give it an 8. Because I still don't know if I think it's worth it, even being one of the cheaper ones.
That's a really high rating then.
Yeah, well, it's a nice resort. Like, if I wouldn't be super disappointed getting it at rack rate, as you refer to it as. I'm not really sure what that means, but
like the price that it's at. Like, this is what they're charging, no discounts applied.
Okay. Discounts applied, I would be very happy.
Okay.
But it just seems a little bit steep.
I'm gonna give it a 6 on price.
Okay, maybe I just don't know how to rank stuff then.
So here's the thing. I think for the 2 bedrooms being $1,000 a night, but sleeping 9 people, like as far as the deluxe resort goes, yeah, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. And what you're getting with it, yeah, that's awesome. And the amount that you're going to save by maybe making your meals, especially if you're not spending morning to night at the park and like you're making lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
Or lunch or dinner, you could save a few $100s a day if you have 9 people that you're feeding.
Yeah.
Taking 9 people out to Disney, taking 9 people out to eat at Disney, I'll say $40 a person.
Uh-huh.
If it's 9 adults and you're going out to a restaurant. So that's a good chunk of change per night. The reason I'm going to lower it though, that I made it a 6, because yes, for a deluxe resort, this is a great deal. For the size of the room, this is a pretty good deal. Like, this is all pretty good, but like, the All-Stars were $185 a night.
For us, that's really good. For people who aren't as obsessed with Disney, I don't know if they would think that would be worth it.
I know. And like the rooms, okay, it's $185 a night and the room size is a lot smaller. There's a lot less recreation options. There's actually a pretty similar amount of transportation options. It's still just buses. Uh-huh. There's no boat to Disney Springs, but like I said, that took forever. Yeah. In my opinion. So even comparing it to a moderate resort, like let's look at the contemporary. That's not moderate. Let's look at Caribbean Beach. Caribbean Beach that week is in the 300s. So $180 less, $100 less, however you want to say it. Mm-hmm. But it's on the Skyliner loop. But it has a pretty similar amount of recreation options.
Uh-huh.
It has the same, if not more, food options. It has as many pools. Like,
Yeah.
There's a lot that can be compared to it, I think. But you lose the benefits that you get from a deluxe resort, like those extra evening hours and things like that. So there's definitely pluses and minuses to it. So I'm going to stick with a 6 because I just can't bring myself to spend those prices.
Fair.
But I do think that you get a good amount for that price.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going 6.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks good to me.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm really... The multiple bedroom ones are really... They're where I'm getting torn on what I want to say. Because 9 people for $1,000 a night. You're right. It's only just a little over $100 per person per night.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. Can you imagine if I was like, hey, we're going to share a bed in a room with 3 other people and we're each going to pay $900?
It's a lot.
I don't know. I'm so torn on my opinion. I'm so torn.
I might be down to a 6.
You changed yours?
Yeah.
You can't keep letting me sell you on these things.
Yeah, but
these are my opinions. Stop taking them.
It was the last part that you just said that made me change it.
What?
That I would have to pay that much money to sleep in a room with 3 other people.
Or to put 4 of your kids in a room together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna go to a 7.
A 7?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with a 6.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna quit while we're ahead on this one. I am quickly looking up the resort prices because I did talk about Caribbean Beach and I want to see if I was accurate on around what the price would be for that week. So let's see. Yeah, the All-Stars are going at $185 a night. Caribbean Beach is sold out. $299 a night before any discounts.
I think I'd rather stay at Caribbean Beach.
See? Similar theming.
Yeah.
Similar idea.
Yeah.
You can see fireworks from it. They also have the internal bus loop, so still big.
Yeah.
They also have the Skyliner. They're also walking distance to the Riviera, kind of similar how you could get to Saratoga if you were going from Old Key West. But they're $182 less.
Yeah.
Before discounts.
That's a lot.
The only thing that you really lose, you lose some of the recreation. Not all of it, but some of it. They do still have a playground. They do still have the movies and the fire pits and stuff like that. But you do lose some of it. And the extra evening hours for deluxe resort guests. That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a really big one that I think
one.
could make or break a trip. If you are night people who want to include that. But if that doesn't matter to you, it doesn't matter. All right, let's talk overall experience.
Okay. I
had a great experience at this resort.
I had a good time.
Yeah. So tell me your opinion on overall experience.
Number wise or just in general?
Give me a little bit of both.
Well, I thought the resort was very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the location of our room because of the bus stop and just it was far enough away from things but also close enough to things, at least in my opinion, because I don't mind walking 10 minutes if I need to. And the room was very nice. Like I said, I enjoyed that it was overlooking the golf course for both reasons, that I could watch people golf, and when we were golfing, you guys threw us snacks, which was fun.
Water bottles and Uncrustables, baby.
Yeah. I really liked the fact that you could see some of the holes of the golf course, just like I said, over the one bridge, you could see the island green.
Mm-hmm.
Recreation besides the golf, I didn't have enough of an experience with it, I don't think, to be able to give a solid opinion on that, it sounds like. The pool is very nice. I did enjoy the pool. And I saw some of the things. The gym was underwhelming. I think overall, I'll give it like an 8.5.
Whoa. I wrote 8.5. I thought it was awesome.
It was a good resort. I would stay there again.
10 out of 10 would stay here again.
Not as a first option, but if I got upgraded to it, I wouldn't be upset.
Okay. Okay. I can agree with that.
Yeah. I don't think I'd go out of my way to book it again, but if I got there and kind of like what happened with you guys at Coronado, they were like, oh, we upgraded you, I wouldn't be like upset about it. I would be like, okay, it sounds good.
Or if we were Disney Vacation Club.
Yeah.
And we were using our points to stay there. I actually upped mine to a 9. I changed my mind. It's a 9.
Okay.
I think the resort had so much going for it. The only thing that kind of took away from my overall experience that I was like, this is annoying, the bus loop. Because we were one of the first stops on the bus loop, which was great because I was worried about not getting on the bus. Because when we stayed there in the studio, it was during prime COVID, and we didn't get on like 5 buses because we were the last stop.
Okay.
So buses would just go past us, and we were
they
like,
could only put like 10 people on a bus.
yeah. So I was so paranoid about that with it having the internal loop, and then we got on every time, but then had to keep going to every stop, which was fine. But at another resort, we would have went right to the park when we got on a bus that early, and we would have been farther up in line at the park.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing that I was like, I would change this if I could, but I don't know how I would. Because they're not going to send a bus to just go to one stop.
Yeah.
They're not going to send all of the buses to the main building because that would be terrible for the people. We had a 10-minute walk. Imagine the people who were even farther than us.
Yeah.
Shoving those strollers all the way up, like that doesn't sound fun to me. So I get it. It just took away like a point for me. I thought the recreation was awesome. I'm sorry, I'm going back to an 8.5 because I forgot about the food. I thought the food was disappointing. It was great, but it wasn't as high as standards as other resorts have as far as food options go. But the food that we ate was delicious. There just wasn't as many options.
Yeah.
The rooms, huge, amazing, whether it was the studio or the 3-bedroom. They had those glass doors like you were at a beach resort, which is so cool. The theming I thought was pretty on point.
Yeah.
I would have thrown a little bit more Disney in if I could, but I did think there was a good amount of Disney. And as far as a deluxe resort goes, there was definitely a good amount of Disney.
Fair.
The deluxe resorts do tend to have less in-your-face Disney than the moderate and the value resorts do. Definitely less than the value resorts.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like the more expensive the resort gets, the less Disney is there.
Yeah. Like, value resorts, you'll have a picture of Donald swimming on your wall. In the resort that we stayed in, there's a picture of 4 circles with hidden Mickeys in each of them.
No, our bedroom had Minnie Mouse sitting on a beach chair. Yeah. But I get what you're saying. They're more about the hidden Mickeys rather than the here is Mickey in your face.
Yeah, like
watching
if you're looking
you
for it, it's there, but
you gotta look for it.
Yeah.
Your kids aren't gonna run in, point at the wall, and say, "Look, there's Minnie Mouse."
Yeah.
Look, Goofy's playing baseball.
There's Dumbo on my pull-out bed.
Which that was a deluxe resort. That was the boardwalk. But again, you had to pull the wall down to see it. So, yeah, I had a great experience. I really did think it was great. I thought it was such a good resort. So fun. And I would go back. Mainly if we got Disney Vacation Club.
Fair.
I'm sorry, when we get Disney Vacation Club. Mainly when we get Disney Vacation Club and we use the points to go back because we're cheap and only stay at Deluxe with Disney Vacation Club. But I think for someone paying the rack rate for it, or especially if you get a discount, it's not terrible if you want a Deluxe resort. It's really not. The 6 to me was just because I think there are moderates that can give you almost the same experience.
Yeah.
Minus the evening hours. All in all, though, 8.5. Okay, let's do this math. So add yours up for me.
I'm trying to remember what I changed a lot of mine to.
Okay, out of 70. Because again, Sab and I were not the brightest at the time. What is your score?
Okay, if I have the numbers correct again, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
54.5 was my total.
54.5?
I believe that's what I ended up at.
Okay. So that's a 78%. Or 77.8%.
Okay.
So mine was a 56 out of 70.
Okay.
It was an 80%.
Okay.
Which I feel like that's pretty high. I think the last 2 were in the 70s.
It's pretty good.
As far as percentage goes.
Yeah.
So 56 and a 54. So if we added ours together, that's 110 out of 0.5 out of 140.
So 55.
Which is a 78.9%.
Okay.
Is our average score.
Not bad.
Not bad. I have to see where that lands. I am 99% sure that puts it above Saratoga Springs and Coronado Springs.
One of you for Coronado was a 53. I don't remember what the other person was, though.
That's high. That had to have been Sab. I didn't like Coronado that much. But I do remember with both Coronado and Saratoga, when we actually broke things down, I was like, oh, wait, that actually is kind of nice. Oh, wait. I think we're just too generous on these.
Yeah. We talk it through, though.
We
give
do.
Explanations, and I think that's enough.
We justify. We convince ourselves.
Yeah.
Or each other.
Exactly.
The amount of years that you changed because after I talked, we got to work on you standing your ground.
Mine probably is like 4 off. Because I changed all of them.
It probably would have been like a 50.
Yeah.
No, you lowered some, too.
I don't know. Someone's going to keep track.
Thanks.
And then be like, Ric lied.
Ric's a liar. That's right.
It wasn't on purpose.
I'll keep track when I edit, and I'll find out.
Okay.
But that's it. That's all we have. That is our review of Old Key West. It has scored a 78.9% on the Spill the D resort scale. I'd say that's pretty good. I would recommend Old Key West to somebody if they needed, especially if they needed more space. Big family needs space, Old Key West.
Yeah.
That's my main thing, and the recreation. If you're going to have a lot of resort days, I think Old Key West is a good one to go to really get the most out of your resort days.
Yeah, I agree.
Perfect. So, if you would like to see pictures and videos from our trip, we are going to have them. Some of them are already posted. You can see Old Key West Resort, a full tour of the room. We are on Instagram. You can find those at Civility Podcast. We're also on Threads. And that's really it. If you guys liked what you heard, we love when you give us some stars, some reviews. We've gotten some really sweet reviews recently. So thank you to those of you who have written out some reviews on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Really appreciate it.
Keep sending the DMs too. I started responding to some of those and it's fun.
It is fun, right? Ric logged into the Spill the D Instagram to post while we were in Disney. It has only been me up until that point. And he's like, oh wait, I get it. We're going to make him an extrovert one day at a time.
Who was I talking to about Lorcana the other day?
Stephanie.
I was talking to Stephanie about Lorcana the other day. That was fun.
His card game that came out. Finally. Disney Magic. Yeah. Whoa. Another way to use Disney Magic. Crazy. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for listening week after week. And until next time, we will
see you at the castle.